All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Miss Lorraine Crutcher,
Yes, sir.
director of what I call the DOS. So I was telling my children, right? So it's the DOS. That's all we said. My daughter's like, who you having on? Oh, the DOS, the DOS, the DOS. But it's the DOS Heritage Center here in Weatherford, Texas.
Yes.
All right, Lorraine, so we're excited to talk to you. Thank you for coming on. Let's get right into it. So tell us a little bit about, I think you're a Tarleton grad.
I am.
Which is that seat is held, God, this might be episode 24, 25, 26. I think we've had probably 10 Tarleton grads in that seat. So you
all
are
of these
in good
people who bleed
Yes.
purple, making Weatherford fantastic.
Yeah. Talk to me about the purple iris.
Oh, I grew up in a house close to Tarleton,
Okay.
and Tarleton had a specific iris that the horticulture department worked on, and it's called a Tarleton iris, and it's purple and white.
So that comes from the Tarleton Ag Department.
Yes,
or whatever.
sir.
It was super cool. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, it's a purple flower. Why do they call it Tarleton? But Tarleton made it.
Absolutely.
Oh, all right, I love it.
And the white beard and a purple hood on an iris is really striking, especially under these fabulous trees we have here in the Cross Timbers.
So
Perfect
have you been
accoutrement.
do you have any of those at the current property, or was that left in
yes.
the... Oh, you do? All
Oh,
right.
yes. I'm always looking for new varieties, but that there were some bulbs that were left behind, and it was one of those moments where you go, oh my God, this is what people are talking about when they say you're going to learn the hard way growing up, because you never think about digging up what's in your flower beds when you move.
No, that's true. We actually kept an invasive species when we moved from on the Lake Weatherford. We were right on the water with the dock and the boat and everything, and then we moved behind Mary Martin Elementary School in Silverstone, and there was this Japanese thing. It's not good. You're not supposed to have it. It's invasive, but it has the most beautiful pink flowers. And there was one growing, and we dug it up, and we said, okay, we'll take it as a memento. And we've had like 3 people tell us that's not good. That's an invasive species. So
Yes.
So it's not always good to have the
Well-
memento, but the Tarleton iris is a good thing, right?
And I think honeysuckle is still beautiful no matter what. So I know there's probably some people out there who would tell us tisk tisk, but I'm also one of those offenders.
Gotcha. All right, so we mentioned Tarleton a little bit. Talk to me about the whole upbringing. So, I mean, Lorraine, where did
Yes.
we were born and raised in Stephenville, or we?
Actually, I was imported. That's my joke that I tell everybody. My dad worked for the Department of Defense,
sweet.
and so I was moved over from Germany at about 1 year old. My mother wanted to further her education. My dad's a native Texan. Okay. My mother's a native of Mexico.
Very cool.
And so grew up in a very culturally diverse family. Grew up with a lot of cultural influences, always going to the theater, always being a part of things at the library, always going to museums myself. So this is just a beautiful thing.
Where's your dad from?
So dad's from Brownwood area.
Brownwood, okay.
May, Texas. Mom is from Tepic, Nayarit, Mexico.
Oh, wow, okay.
So grew up going back and forth, and I'm
Oh,
the
you
oldest.
did? Went to Mexico?
Oh,
went back
yes.
To here? Okay.
Oh, yes. I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and of the 3 of us, I'm easily the most bilingual, because they said, well, you translated for us all the time. And I wanted to go to the discos with my cousins, so I learned real quick.
All right,
But-
all right. Where is it? What part of Mexico are we talking? Is this northern part right across the border? or was it-
Pacific coast, and you're looking at the west side. And so we would fly into either Guadalajara or Puerto Vallarta, and then spend our time in
I was a
Tepic.
child of the Love Boat TV show. I have heard
Oh,
Puerto Vallarta
yes.
and Acapulco. I have heard that West Coast names all the time.
Well, and it's
That's funny.
beautiful.
Really? Wow.
The first time my parents took us to South Padre Island, I cried because it was ugly. And my dad said, y'all are so spoiled.
Yeah,
What have
poor-
we done?
Poor South Padre. My wife's family, they always vacation, and some had condos and stuff on the west coast of Florida. So it's the same Gulf, but the west coast of Florida does not look like the east
Oh,
coast
no.
of Texas.
Oh,
and
no.
it's a shame. Now, mind you, though, I'll tell you what, though. We have become, over the last probably just 2 years, we are Galveston fans.
Oh,
We
it's fabulous
actually
down
like
there.
Galveston. We understand the pros and the cons. We understand the beach is not always great. We understand it's touristy. We understand, so
But the
I
seawall's
love it.
fabulous.
We had so much fun.
Yes.
If your expectations are that you're going to the Caribbean, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're
Absolutely.
like, I live in Texas. I only live 3.5 hours from the ocean. Let's give it a shot. And it was awesome. We had so much fun. We
Yes.
we're kind of big Galveston fans now. Started listening to this Galveston song.
Oh.
It wasn't John Denver. I forget who it was.
It's Glenn Campbell.
Yes, Glenn Campbell.
Yes.
The whole way home we were listening down Galveston. We just love the Galveston.
It's one of
song.
my favorites.
Yes, yes. All right, so we're a bilingual family. We're going back and forth. Where are we growing up? Down in
Stephenville,
Okay,
Texas.
all
So
right.
I'm a product of the Stephenville school system. And then I jokingly say I just went to 13th, 14th, and 15th grade, and that was going to Tarleton. But grew up when Stephenville was small, and it was cowboy country, and it definitely is the cowboy capital for multiple reasons. But one of the biggest things about growing up there was I got a heavy dose of Western culture. So would go between, even my mom would be like, I don't know what this means, but they say something about wearing
so your mom's
cowboy
Mexican.
boots. Oh, 100%.
She talks. She's got the culture, the
we
accent.
would be in stalls
That's
at
awesome.
like
That's
Sonic,
awesome.
and the Sonic car hop would be like, "Where are you from?" And my mother would say things like, "I don't know. Maybe you should guess." And they would be like, "Russia, Italy, all these things." And every time without fail, "I know. I am your neighbor. I am from Mexico."
I love it.
Yes.
Golly.
So grew up, and I call myself like, if you go get ice cream and you see Mexican vanilla and it's all white,
Yeah. Huh?
es yo.
Oh,
Yo soy la
okay. All right, fair
Mexican
enough.
vanilla.
That's a good.
Porque yo hablo español,
Yes, I
and I
love
tell
that.
people all the time, either that or the Diablo Blanca,
That
depending
needs to
on.
be a sticker on your Yeti or something right
Oh,
there. That would
yes.
be, yeah, I love that. That's good. That's good. No, we went to the Fort Worth Rodeo, at the stock yards.
Oh,
Stock show, stock
yes.
yards, stock shows in January. So we were there yesterday. And we're rooting for all these folks. We see a couple Weatherford folks. There's a couple. My daughter goes to Texas Tech. There's a Texas Tech guy doing the calf roping, and
Love it.
but every other name, Stephenville.
Oh, yeah.
Comes from Stephenville, Texas. Coming to us from Stephenville, Texas. Coming to us from Stephenville, Texas. Every other name was Stephenville, Texas.
Oh,
at the
it's
rodeo.
incredible.
And it was awesome. I did not find it annoying. I actually liked it. I was like, hey, that's close to us.
Oh,
Because
it's
there was other ones
amazing.
from Brazil, and there was one from Louisiana and Colorado, and I was like, let's go Stephenville.
Well, it's local, and it
Mm-hmm.
really is like the heartbeat of Texas. The people out there are so kind. In fact, my best friend's dad was a bullfighter growing up, like a straight up rodeo clown bullfighter, among one of the first ones or among the group that really got the entertainment side of rodeo started. So I've seen everything. I've seen the dog and pony show and the monkey and dog show. I don't know if
Yes.
you've ever seen that,
I've
but
seen the monkey in
Yes.
the rodeo.
it's
yep.
brilliant.
It's
So grew
awesome.
up around all of that, and then also the Friday Night Lights aspect, the small
Mm-hmm.
town feeling of if you go out on Saturday night, everybody's going to know on Sunday morning, and your mama's probably going to know where you were, and that you weren't actually spending the night at Hannah's house.
Yeah. I'll tell you, best part of the rodeo, you see a little bit of it on Friday Night Lights, but no, nothing like the rodeo. And the Sheriff's Posse Rodeo here in Weatherford does it the same way.
Oh.
The first, 20 minutes, your hair is standing up. I mean, it's so pro-America. So there's prayers, there's religion, there's more flags than you could imagine.
I love it.
Honoring the troops. And you're just like, I'm watching it going, yeah, I want to fight somebody. I want to do something. I love it. This is so, it really riles you up, and in a great way. I'm saying
Literally
it in a great way. Yes.
red-blooded American
Yes.
sport,
Yes.
and it is so respectful. It reminds you what is great about this country, and it really, I feel the same way.
We
I
had
feel the
guests
same
in,
way.
we had family in from New York, and they were, they were like, oh my God, there was prayer. How could you even do that? And oh my God, they were showing Army guys with guns, and there was prayer, and there was guns, and they kept showing the American flag. I don't know how much you should show them. And it's like, yeah, that's the coolest part.
That's
but they
the whole
loved it.
point.
But they loved it. And they were like, oh my God, I
Yes.
wish they were singing along and cheering, and yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. And I think Weatherford and Stephenville, we have a pretty cool connection.
Oh,
Mineral Wells
definitely.
also, and but I think
Yes.
Fort Worth, there's an interesting line of demarcation. But with Weatherford and Stephenville, Weatherford and Granbury, Weatherford and Mineral Wells, it feels like there's something there that's more I don't know, more intimate, a little special. I like hearing good things
It's
about
that
Mineral Wells.
organic small town feeling, and I do too. In fact, I live right outside of Mineral Wells. I'm just over the Parker County line, and
Sounds
just
like a song.
the growth. I know,
Parker County line.
just over it.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful place too, and I think you're right. It's that small town feel in all of these places, and I still jokingly say Weatherford and Stephenville and all these places that have seen development. They're still a small town, even if they're in like bigger city britches. They're still small towns, and you have got to also appreciate the people who are the village in those places that keep the football teams going, keep the small town bingo halls open.
Does Stephenville have a rodeo like we do it here in Parker County?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, Stephenville's rodeo team is like nationally recognized.
It's
like Texas Tech,
incredible.
like Weatherford Community College, which is wild. Like Weatherford Community College rodeo is competing against Stephenville and Texas Tech and
It's
nationwide.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And the fact that they're offering that at the collegiate level and really emphasizing it more is a wonderful thing,
I love it.
too.
Yeah, they don't have that in New York.
Oh,
They don't have rodeo. They don't have the bull riding.
But
the rodeo.
that is why we love
Yeah,
to share.
absolutely.
Sharing the culture is
So
huge.
you had, and I assumed it was the only time, but you had mentioned off camera, you got to sing the national anthem at the start of the most recent Parker County Sheriff's Posse Rodeo. I'm
Yes.
saying the words wrong. But
They called me for Saturday night.
so that's the big
Oh
night.
my gosh, you might as well have put a pageant crown on my head.
Nice,
It was
nice.
beautiful, and it really is my honor. I'm so grateful. Oof.
You got it.
I'm so grateful to have you. You know, when the flies come find you, I guess it means you're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. You're sweet. You're sweet. You're sweet.
But
So you got to
it's
do the anthem on Saturday night.
Saturday night. It's the biggest night, and really, it just was such a blessing to me. I'm so grateful. I get on my soapbox all the time about how lucky we are to be Americans, and also to live in Texas, in our pocket of the world. We are extremely blessed, and so being able to sing the national anthem that night, make Weatherford proud, especially knowing it was telecast.
But this wasn't your first time.
Oh no, not my
So
first
you've
time.
done at the rodeo,
Oh yes,
and you've done it at other places.
I have. I've done it all over several different times.
So that kind of brings up a question. Now, I don't like to get into the interview part because this is a podcast. We're just supposed to talk. But I do have kind of like good national anthems, and then have you had any like disaster or bad national anthems?
I have had.
So what's the best one you ever did? Was it Saturday at the rodeo?
Saturday at the rodeo was one of the best
Okay.
ones. It was one of the best. I've nailed it a few other times. Well, I say a few other times. I've nailed it many other times where it was either like chamber functions, big banquets, events like that. But I've also bombed. It is the hardest.
That's what you always hear. But
Freaking
it doesn't,
song.
because me as a novice singing along in the stands, I'm like, I know the song,
Yes.
But
I've been singing since I was 4 years old, and I've being blessed in a very cultural household.
Okay.
They really hounded on our strengths musically, and so I've been classically trained. I've gone to a lot of different training with different professors and done choir things, and so I am well versed on a cappella performances. The national anthem, you have to have such a broad range to nail everything.
who was it who did the President Trump's and none of the background music? Like she had to straight up do it a cappella.
It was Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
It was excellent.
That was, I remember watching that live.
absolutely
and like
excellent.
starting to sweat and panicking a little bit. And then when she started to sing, I was like, am I the only one watching this? Like, she's nailing this.
Oh, I was
This is
screaming
this is
in
like,
my
what is
living
she
room,
doing?
clapping.
If this was any other administration, this would have been the most epic moment of the last year. Like,
Amen.
no music, no one's there. She just has to do this and she sings it.
And it's
it was
all
cool.
about that first note, because I've had at another rodeo, the reverb was terrible. So I was hearing myself with about a 2-second delay. And if you've ever heard
I
reverb
have.
anywhere, you
I
feel like
have.
you're having a stroke. Like, oh my God, what's happening?
I humiliated myself at the groundbreaking of the Shirley Hall Middle School. So I'm supposed to give a speech, and the reverb is in my ear. It's coming in the speaker, and it's 2 seconds behind.
Oh, it's
so
the worst.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for gathering here at the Shirley Hall Middle School.
and no one else can hear the reverb.
No
so
one else
they're
can
like,
hear it.
"Oh no, what happened to him?"
My daughters, when I came off, they're like 7 and 10, and they're like, "You sounded like an idiot. What was the matter?" What? It's like, first of all, don't say that. But really, did I sound like an idiot? What was the matter? It was because I was hearing the echo, and I couldn't talk, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I was so humiliated.
I was at the Palapino rodeo, and I started too high, and there was the reverb. And I got about halfway through and recognized that I was going to have a major problem. So I quickly changed my register, and I just snuck it in that I changed my register. Most people in the audience did not notice. In fact, everybody was like,
would have noticed.
That was, oh yes. Elizabeth would have been like, that was a good sneaky change there. But most of the people were like, that was amazing. It was so beautiful. Well, my husband was sitting up in the top of the bleachers, and he's heard me so many times. We've been together 20 years. He's heard me sing in every Opry, every different opportunity I've had. And I got to the top of the bleachers, and he looked at me, and he squinted his eyes. And I jokingly call him the Simon Cowell of my life. And this was one of those Simon Cowell moments.
You need honesty.
He goes, "What happened to you? Did you have a stroke down there?"
Do I got to take you to Mineral Wells General?
I was so full of adrenaline.
Oh,
I just started crying, and I was like, I started too high. But I've talked to multiple other singers who have told me about their faux pas doing the same thing, and they're like, it's so hard.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you know what you're doing, and then you go in with confidence
and you can
to
be
do
able
it.
to adjust.
100%.
Like we were talking about at the president's one. I mean, that was not normal, and she was like, "You ready to just kind of, let's just do it. All right, let's just do it." And she adjusted and did it.
Amen. Well, and people
That's the confidence
forget
that you're talking about.
you are in control of your breath. You are in control with the tempo. And so I think that is the hardest thing, is to get it into your mind that you have control, and it's not that song singing you. You're singing the song.
All right, before we get, so we're talking about the anthem a lot, which I love. It was great. I want to talk about the DOS.
Yes.
So, like, how did we get there? And then, we've been since what year? 2020?
Since 2020, I came back. Yes, because I'd worked with them previously. So I'm going to be honest with you. I prayed for where I am in my life.
I love it.
Because I have so many gifts that God has given me, and I had worked for banks. I had worked for dental companies. I had worked in different capacities as reps for companies, and I loved all of that. But
was it a marketing background?
Oh, yes. Marketing background.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And a personality to go with it. So I just
I do say so myself.
Yes, I'm very humble about that. But it's true. Especially as time goes on, I recognize that just having the ability to visit with people of all different backgrounds is a gift. So I really was thinking, like, Lord, please put me somewhere where I can be as much of a blessing to the organization as the organization is to me.
Love it.
And I didn't know that I was supposed to do nonprofit work. But I was driving around one day. I was looking for a new gig, and I had talked to my husband. I was actually in Weatherford. I'd done an interview with another company, and I was a little bit put out just because it was a new opening, and there were a lot of applicants, and I didn't know if it was for me. And I called my husband, and I said, "Hey, I'm pulling into this place called the DOS, and I think I may just take my stuff in there." And he goes, "Lorraine, you're in sales. Like, go do what you do. And if you think that's somewhere you want to be, then it does not hurt to take your stuff in."
Nice.
And so I walked in the door, resume in hand, and I asked for the director at the time. And the lady said, "Well, he's right here." He was standing right behind the desk. And he looked over my stuff, and he said, "Do you have a minute to talk? Because my marketing person just put their notice in."
Oh,
and
timing is everything.
Yes, it was literally the perfect time. And I look back at that and I think, what a blessing for me personally. But when I also look back at the organization and the growth that we've gone through, I'm like, oh my God, I was a gift to them too. It was beautiful the way it all worked out.
If there was a thing over the last 4 or 5 years, is there one thing you're like most proud of? Or something that really stood out as you kind of like, oh, this was awesome. This was great. I've realized, wow, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Not necessarily one thing, because every day I have so much gratitude for what I do. I'm the lady up there, and I'm like, there are no problems. There are just solutions. There's no bad days at the DOS, because at the end of the day, we are so lucky to have the jobs that we have. We get to be teachers, but we don't have to work in a classroom. We get to be storytellers. We get to connect people in this beautiful tapestry that we have in Parker County.
And you get to hang out with J.R. Ewing memorabilia.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was like my childhood. This is one of the reasons I moved to Texas, was because of the TV show Dallas. And then we come here, and this little town called Weatherford is where he was from. And there's a statue at the DOS, and it's like, you know, when we I don't know if you know this, the brewery we did, the most recent one I did, Bourbon and Branch, was because J.R. Ewing, his drink, the only thing he ever ordered was a Bourbon and Branch. Most people in Texas don't even know what that is. I didn't. I came down here, the first bartender back in 2003, didn't even know what a Bourbon and Branch is. Branch is the branch of a river, so it's water. So it's bourbon and water. But it was because J.R. Ewing would always go up to the bar for 26 years of the show, Bourbon and Branch, Bourbon and Branch, Bourbon and Branch. That's all J.R. Ewing ever ordered, 100% of the time.
I love that.
Was a Bourbon and Branch, which is branch water. Bourbon and Branch.
I love it.
And so I was like, this is cool. And his niece still lived in town, right? Where I feel like I should remember more. I feel bad. But somebody who was related to the family came to Bourbon and Branch when we opened and gave us some souvenirs and memorabilia.
I love that.
We took a cool photo of the statue, and we hung that up on the stairs. So as you were going up the stairs, there was that. And
the history of that family is still very much alive and well. In fact, Christina Hagman has come to visit us a few times at the museum, and that's Larry's daughter. And it was really interesting to watch her go through the archival photos we have of Mary Martin and say, oh my gosh, look how cute Grandmommy looked in this picture.
That's her grandma. That's crazy.
And I was just like, oh my God, pinch me.
Yeah, that's my Grandmommy looks. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, Grandmommy in this picture. And I thought, how cool to be going through your family history in museum archives and looking at everything. And she has been so gracious in sharing photos with us or any stories, because Mary loved Weatherford, and she instilled that love into Larry Hagman. And then he instilled it into the rest of the world when he was J.R. Ewing, because he made sure he actually based that character off of another Weatherford, Parker County gentleman by the name of Jess Hall.
Really?
And Jess Hall was extremely boisterous, and he was also the inventor of serendipity, season salts. So that is where he got
Jess Hall.
Yes. So Larry Hagman in his bio says, I knew after I'd read through the script of J.R. Ewing who this character was, because I've met this person before.
Awesome.
And so it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, that is brilliant. I love that. No, it was such a big, when I had Miss Baker on here, Elizabeth, she was talking about
one
how
of my favorites.
She flew over with the Texas Girls Choir to Japan in like the summer or right before the fall of 1985, which was the Who Shot JR. So the whole world is like on the edge of their seats. Who Shot JR? The show is coming out, and she said they needed guards. They had bodyguards in Japan, because these girls got off the plane with their cowboy hats. They were from Texas. Everybody in Japan is like, do you know JR? Do you know JR? Where is JR? Who shot JR? Who shot JR? And she was telling the story how they needed bodyguards and stuff. No, it was pretty awesome.
I love it. Well, whenever I have school tours come in, I usually do the Mary Martin room if they need some help, because that is one of the things I just nerd out on.
Well, you came out when we did Mary Martin Elementary. That's where my daughter went.
Oh,
and my wife teaches.
You heard my TED Talk.
Yes, so you came out and you did a little thing, and I thought that was awesome. And you sounded extremely knowledgeable, very professional. It was great. I want to stay on the DOS real quick. I want to ask you, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, like, about what's coming up. So, like, what's in the future? Is there anything in the works? Or what are we most excited about? Or what's, the DOS it's not about yesterday. It's about today and tomorrow sometimes, too.
Oh, amen.
So, yeah.
We are looking forward to celebrating 20 years being open next year. So 2026, we're looking forward to some really fun, exciting things. In fact,
it's an anniversary year.
Oh yes, I've been been in touch with some of Cynthia and Parker's family members, and they had come to Weatherford for a Meet the Parkers event. But
at the Baker's Rib.
yes, and I've been blessed enough now to go up to Fort Sill and visit them up there and see about getting not only some of our descendants down here, but also trying to get the Comanche Nation to come down and do some more stuff with us. But just really looking in the next year to provide some exciting things to the community, share a lot of the history, but then also like continue to expand all of our programming in the park. I don't know if there.
What's all the construction? Isn't there construction going on?
Yes.
Is that unrelated?
Yes, that is all the college.
Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of what I thought.
Well, but that has really piqued a lot of people's interest. So as much as sometimes I'm like, oh no, the poor deer.
Yeah.
When I look out at the parking lot, I'm like, oh no, they're just like walking over there.
They're doing a trail and all this.
It's beautiful.
You're going to be able to take advantage of some of that, I would imagine.
Well, because of all of it, people can see the log cabins a lot better.
Village, okay.
And so we've gotten a lot of phone calls of people inquiring of what's going on, but then they're like, oh, and do y'all have cabins back there? And I'm like, yes, it's so cool.
Yes, and you know
Come
what? You're
visit.
right. The log cabins have, I mean, they need to be there at the Heritage Center. That's where they'll stay forever. It's a safe home. It's a great place.
Exactly. It's a safe place.
It's a safe place. They'll be there for it's great. But there is the elephant in the room. Obviously, nobody can see them. You have to go like into the woods.
Yes.
And so maybe this trail will, without anything that you guys had to do, just what do you call it? Like an unintended consequence, a good unintended consequence.
Absolutely. Just like a little sneak peek, because there's been a few people who go, well, it's hidden back there. But I told them, the ones that I've talked to, I'm like, it's by design because I want to try and save as much of the cross timbers as we can. And we've got things like blackjack oaks and a variety of different native trees. So whenever we are discussing any future development.
Forgive me for my ignorance. Cross timbers.
Yes, we are in a thread of woods called the Cross Timbers, and it runs down from Oklahoma down all the way through Weatherford and into Stephenville. And at one time, you could see it from space. It's green space hardwoods, specific oak varieties that are not found other places in Texas.
Hudson Oaks is famous for their oak trees and everything.
Yes, and the really, really tall hardwoods, which in turn, this makes a full circle learning lesson. That's why the settlers stopped here, a lot of them, because they were coming off the prairies, coming off the plains. If they didn't settle in East Texas where the piney woods were, this was the next best place to stop.
There was materials for building
absolutely
and growth and whatnot, and firewood and whatever.
Yes, you could actually live, and I've heard of people camping under huge live oaks and the kind of making living quarters there while they were building a house, or cowboys would camp under them for different protections from the wind, the weather.
I love
it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, Lorraine, I know it's felt like 2 minutes, but we're about 30 minutes into this.
Well, when you said it's okay, we'll talk about 20 minutes. I was like, bless him. I could talk about 50 minutes.
I know we should. We'll definitely have to bring you back for a round 2.
Yes.
Any new announcements or anything? But I want to give you the mic at the end here. I mean, anything to kind of leave us with, whether it's a message for yourself or your husband or family or Stephenville, or anything about what's going on in Weatherford, or what you're most happy about. I don't know, anything.
Well, I'm just grateful every day. I tell people all the time, what we're doing at the museum is we're planting seeds of gratitude, because that's where happiness grows from. And a lot of the people who come through, I remind them, find something simple every day. If you need to come check out the log cabins and be grateful you have hot water in your home, come by and check it out. If you want to come by and us talk about outhouses, so you can be grateful that you have a restroom to use inside your house.
I love it. The final message, be grateful.
Every day, every minute. And thank you. I'm grateful that you had me on today.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
Blessed by this, and I'm blessed to serve this community.
Lorraine,
thank you, Dr. Tarvey.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Toodles Poodle, leave you with my signature.
Toodles Poodle.